Welcome, dear listeners. Dark Swanson here, your host for TV Tuners. Today, we dive into darker waters, guided by a chilling event from this past weekend in Denver. Picture this, a massive TV screen illuminating the city center, but instead of the usual harmless broadcast, it was hijacked by our podcast's infamous antagonist, the Screen Phantom. This elusive figure, known for hacking broadcasts, distorting reality through screens, decided to play a twisted game of his own. The Phantom turned our giant TV into a theater of horrors, parading a sickening array of violent, explicit scenes that plunged the public square into chaos. It was a stark reminder of television's sinister potential when falling into the wrong hands. As your host, this has solidified my commitment to dive deep into the complexities of our medium, to unveil its horrors and villains alike. And so, our journey through the television universe continues here on TV Tuners. Let's dive in. Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive in the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and guy who is played by another guy who is still another guy, Stairmaster.
Hi, I'm Stairmaster.
Wait a second, but I thought I just saw Stairmaster.
No, that was Stairmaster.
But you're Stairmaster.
2. No, I'm
you're
Stairmaster.
being played...
1.
Well, see, the Stairmaster I saw was being played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, well, I'm the John Barenthal Stairmaster.
Oh, very unrealistic. At least to the Stairmaster I know. Like, I don't know, John Barenthal, if I believe that you would go through the drive-thru and pick up some Five Guys and go home and have an upset tummy.
My stomach!
Oh! He's like hitting himself in the head.
Oh, it hurts so bad.
He's punching his own stomach for some reason.
Yeah, compared to the original Stairmaster, who is Adam Driver.
True. I mean, you can't prove that it's not. Another exciting edition of the podcast. Of course, with us, as always, our other co-host and the guy behind the computer who's explaining it all to us, Kiorein.
Yeah, I am on the computer, so I know how this works, and I know about the above reality somehow. Just a thing I know, because I'm a computer guy. So yeah, I'm able to exposit this to you guys. It's pretty
This
good.
almost makes sense.
Oh, yeah. Almost.
Thank you for this completely pointless plot twist. That doesn't really recontextualize what we've seen at all.
Yeah, thanks for this sort of really wild last 10 minutes sort of twist that wasn't necessarily needed.
That doesn't actually change anything about how we see the story.
In my opinion, it does help to explain why the plot is paper thin and inconsistent.
Oh, I guess you're right.
True.
Because it's just a computer.
It is just a computer.
It's true. Computers do be like that.
The computer doesn't understand really cause and effect and how reality works. So it would make sense for there to be a few plot holes here and there.
Oh, okay. In fact, this episode was written by a computer.
Yes, a computer named Charlie Brooker. Welcome to another exciting edition of TV Tuners. We're here. You can tell it's going to be a good one because we clearly already have some thoughts on the thing we watched this week. Also, one of the rare...
I wasn't even gonna go there.
Yeah, true. This is one of the rare sort of TV Tuners episodes where we're in the zeitgeist, and I'll explain a bit more why we might be when we get there. But as for now, of course, this is another great episode of the show. If you're listening, you have any quips, comments, questions, foresights, otherwise, well, why not email them to us, and we can read them aloud on the podcast.
Email. Okay.
That's right. You can send them over to tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email address, Kiorein?
It's tvtunerspodcast@gmail. dramaticpause.com.
That's right. You can be like Gio, who sent us this email. Gun damn, girl.
Whoa.
Dramatic pause for the title. Fellas, help me settle a bit here. Has Twilight Handjob ever been the subtitle of a Gundam movie or show? Thanks, Gio.
Yes.
Oh, it has. I missed that one. What goes on in that one?
That was a really good one. There was no hand job at all. It was just just a name.
And just so I'm clear, that's not the one with full frontal?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, full frontal does not ever show his diphthong, by the way.
Yeah. Now, they have full frontal, but are they ever going to have side boob as a character on the show?
Maybe. They had a real opportunity for that for Mercury.
True.
But they wussed out?
Yeah.
They were scared?
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess that was... I mean, we did answer that question, Gio.
Now let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here.
It was a yes or no question, which is the easiest kind of answer.
It's true.
Next time somebody asks a yes or no question, we should just say yes or no and then just move on.
Just nothing else, yeah. Anyway, tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. So let's move on. I have a question, of course, one I ask every week, but nonetheless still important. What do you guys watch this week? Anything fun, interesting?
I watched Burn After Reading.
Oh, nice. It's a good one.
It's a delightful comedy about the stupidest people on the planet burning their lives and everything around them down for the most spurious of reasons.
Yeah.
And also George Clooney builds an apparatus.
Yeah, he builds something.
He constructs a device.
Yeah, it's a good movie from what I remember. It's been a while.
Brad Pitt's in it.
Yeah, the mid film twist with Brad Pitt is, I think, the most shocked young me had been in a movie theater.
More like a
I guess is it a twist? I guess it's just a plot development.
It's kind of a meta twist because immediately after that, you had the scene with the CIA chief and his underling. That's sort of like a that's like a subversion, what you would expect from films like this.
Yeah, but I remember it being a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, sorry about those sounds. My pet seal is having a bad dream.
Oh, that's a shame. By the way, when were you gonna? We didn't really. I wasn't gonna talk about it on the pod, but you did bring this seal.
Yeah.
What's this deal? Don't seals need to be in like water a lot?
Yeah, you guys use a bowl over there. Seals are like dogs.
They're they're closer to bears, actually, evolutionarily speaking.
Yeah, but they're happy little guys. You give them a fish.
Yeah, teach a seal to give a seal the fish, and you have to keep feeding it. Teach a seal to fish, and it gets a fish.
And don't make a seal angry because they have strong jaws.
That's true.
That's a warning for you guys. Don't go near the seal. It's a wild animal.
Well, wait, hold on. I'm getting a sort of mixed. I'm getting mixed messages because you told me don't make it angry, which I feel like I'm not going to do. But then going toward it will make it angry. Is that what I'm getting?
I'm going to pet the snail. I'm going to pet the seal. I'm going to snuggle it.
I mean, at your own peril.
Well, I don't know. I've seen you pet the seal.
Yeah.
Nothing's happened to you.
Well, they're kindred spirits.
Yeah. There's a whole story behind this that I'm not going to go into.
Yeah, we simply do not have the time.
Yeah, it's true. We definitely we're running close, you know.
It would
anyway,
be
tune in or tune out.
Something more for a 3-hour Patreon podcast.
Yes, yeah. You got to sub to the Patreon to hear Seal Talk.
It's $500 a month.
It's a riveting tale. Yeah, you have to be in the ultra platinum tier to get the Seal stories.
Yeah, it's also where you get Stairs' feet pics.
2 every month.
Yeah, you can always see like his
right
impressive accomplishments.
Yeah, and it is 3 hours of Seal Talk. Like, we give you what you want.
All the lore.
Patreon.com.
And also we talk
TV
about how
tours.
much it sucks when the drive-through intercom doesn't work properly.
True, that comes up a lot. And also we talk about what would happen if John Bernthal had to deal with the drive-through not working correctly.
Yeah, that's what...
Yeah, there was that one special episode where it was a little awkward, but it was still fun, where we went through a hypothetical scenario where Stairmaster had captured Swanson and myself, and
some boundaries were violated.
Yeah.
Some.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway,
we don't actually have a Patreon.
Yeah, it's true. We have a Buy Me a Coffee, which, more on that later. But hey, what would you give Burn after reading?
I would give it a burn out of reading.
Is that a good?
I guess I would give it a burn in.
Okay, so tune in.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
No.
I also watched a film.
Was it Mission Impossible? Dead Reckoning Part 1?
No, although I should eventually see that probably. But I think I'm behind on Mission Impossible movies. I think I'm like 2 behind. I watched the latest from Brandon Cronenberg, son of course, David Cronenberg. Infinity Pool. There's not a... Yeah.
Is that about the lady who fell off the infinity pool?
No, it's about Alexander Skarsgård is a guy on vacation who finds out that he can clone himself and have the clone be murdered he kills he kills a local at this resort that he's at when he goes off the resort, and it gets punished, and the crime is death, but they have a thing where if you pay the police there, they will clone you, and then you have to watch your clone get murdered. And
doesn't sound too bad.
He gets turned on by it.
Ooh, that's nasty.
Oh, that's a problem.
And then it becomes a whole thing. It turns out there's a whole group of tourists who love just doing this stuff and watching their clones get fucking murdered. Yeah, it's a fun little movie. It goes it gets a little too caught up in its own concept to like develop all of these weirdo tourist people that he's hanging out with. But I mean, if you wanted to see Alexander Skarsgård, or a clone of him, I guess, come out wearing just a collar, this is the movie for you.
So the average American.
Yes. Also, of course, the movie plays with whether or not he is the clone, and if he just watched himself die. It's a fun movie. I think I'm becoming a fan of the younger Cronenberg. I really enjoyed his previous movie, Possessor, and this is another good little fucked up movie. Apparently he spent a lot of time just talking to his dad about the most messed up shit they could think of.
That's good. The apple has fallen from the tree, I guess.
Yeah, it has fallen from the tree.
Anyway, good movie. Tune in. Keo's been busy with The Seal, so I'm going to assume he didn't really watch anything.
No, I don't watch nothing.
All right. Well, I mean, we're just breezing along here, guys. I guess it's time to get to the news.
Yeah, news.
Yeah, there's really only one thing to talk about, I guess, which is this whole strike business.
Oh, yeah. Good on them. Get that dick.
Yeah. Is that why they're striking?
Well, that might be one of the points, I think.
Okay. Yeah, Thursday, the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, hereafter referred to as SAG-AFTRA, officially declared a strike after their contract ran out, which now puts them and the WGA together in a strike for the first time since 1960.
Wow.
Fun fact I learned, the person who was leading the Screen Actors Guild in 1960, Ronald Reagan.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
So apparently he was at one point pro-union. Anyway, this is a whole different scenario. This time the president of SAG-AFTRA is the nanny, Fran Drescher, who gave a very impassioned speech, essentially saying that CEOs make way too much money. And that they should probably, give some of that down to other people instead of,
threatening to make them homeless.
Yes.
Did you see that clip of Ron Perlman?
I was going to bring that up because I saw it today and it was so Keo, because I know you haven't seen either of these. A CEO, before the strike happened, a CEO was interviewed and he said that their plan is to make sure that the writers go homeless. They'll try and drag this out long enough that they just run out of money. And once the strike happened, Ron Perlman, who, I don't know what you would know him from. He's Hellboy, he's a couple other things.
I know Hellboy. He's like a little man. He's red.
Well, he's kind of big. He's kind of a big man. He's got a big arm.
Guy.
Why is his name Hellboy if he's such a large man?
Well, they found him when he was a boy.
Yeah, but then he became a man later.
Yeah, well, you don't change your name when you grow up.
Yeah, they just said you're Hellboy, and he's like, all right. But
you can't just change your name.
Hellman.
This CEO was like, we want to see people lose their houses or some shit. And Ron Perlman was like, listen, motherfucker, there's more than one way to lose your house.
And also mentioned they know where they live.
Yeah, he's like, maybe I find out where you live. And listen, I'm not a CEO, of course, but if I was ever in a position in my life where Ron Perlman was threatening me, that's it for me. I'm done. I'm just packing. I've done something wrong, and this is the end of my life.
I would say I'm so sorry. I would publish an apology video on YouTube and say I'm so sorry. I'm going to go ahead and give you all the demands you wanted.
Yeah. Those demands, of course, the same as it's been for the writer's strike so far, which is that AI has been a growing problem. The CEOs want to try and... Did you see the thing about how they want to scan a background actor's face?
Oh, yeah.
And then just use that instead of paying the person? Like, they pay them once and then use their likeness in perpetuity?
Yeah, I don't know how they justify that to themselves. Like,
and that was the offer they gave to the Screen Actors Guild before the strike. This was like this is the best we could do offer that they gave.
That's like a fuck you, we've already won.
Yeah. So this, of course, as I said before, this marks the first time in ages that this has happened. Oddly enough, the reason that the strike occurred in 1960, residuals. Another big reason why this one is recurring, because streaming services don't really pay residuals.
Which is probably part of the reason that everything pivoted to streaming.
Yeah. In fact, residuals weren't really a thing until after the 1960 strike. But yeah, a lot of actors have started talking about the issues they've had with payment. A lot of people who were recurring stars or guest stars on one of the first Netflix shows, Orange is the New Black, recently spoke out saying that they've never been paid for their work other than the initial time. Like, they've never gotten residuals once for that show.
Yeah, they really just want to scam people and not pay people.
Yeah, it's no good. The cast of Oppenheimer the premiere was on Thursday, and they just left the premiere to go join the picket line. Based.
Yeah, it's crazy how much they've eroded our unions. Where when's the last time you heard of a big strike like this? That like,
right. Well, a big strike like this where the majority of the news you're hearing is fuck the corporations and not people being like, oh, how will this affect my TV?
Well, they're trying to do that. There's a lot of op-eds about how the 2007 strike killed a bunch of shows and led to Donald Trump becoming president.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you saw this on Twitter or not, but Deadline keeps posting quotes from actors that is like misrepresented about the strike. Like, they quoted Matt Damon as being like, I hope this is over soon. But what he actually said was like, I can only hope this is over soon, but unless the CEOs decide to get their heads out of their asses and stuff like that. Like, just complete misrepresentation of the words that he was saying.
So literally they're quote mining them?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's almost like the media is the enemy of the American people.
Interesting.
Oh, there you go, Donald Trump.
But yeah, this of course might not be the only major strike we have if the USPS workers don't get what they want. And you know what? I'm all for it. Disruption is the only way that this is going to work. So we stand with literally anybody.
And I hope that UPS goes on strike too.
Yeah, sorry, that's who I meant, not the USPS.
And yeah, I want everybody to union up. And I say this from the comfort of my own home. Go ahead and union up. It's easy.
Yeah. Go ahead, make your union at your job, even if it's just you and like 3 other people. By the way, I'm giving you guys pamphlets right now if you want to join a union for the TV tuners.
Who, if we went on, like, joined a union, like, who would we be, like negotiating with?
Mr. Pod.
Yeah, we'd be talking about Mr. Pod, of course. We're on his network still. As everyone knows.
Are we not happy with Mr. Pod?
I'm delighted with Mr. Pod.
I mean, Mr. Pod never really talks to us. It's unclear if Mr. Pod is aware that he's still paying for the podcast hosting.
Should we try to get like a full a full house here? Like,
oh, that's a good idea. Yeah,
at least another 25%.
Yeah.
How about like a swimming pool?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you listen. We gotta bring what we want to the proceedings. Otherwise, it's just gonna be like we gotta bring more than what we want to the bargaining table.
Can we get a treasure chest?
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about.
Can we get another treasure chest, but inside the treasure chest is a monster that'll eat people who try to open it?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's like a security system.
I want like 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 pancakes.
Hey. Come on, man.
What?
Oh, you know what? I
can't add that.
That gave me a great idea. You know, screw all that. Let's have a pizza party.
Oh, yeah.
We can have like one of those beanbag chairs in the office.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's better than getting paid and having a full house.
I think Mr. Pod can make all this happen if we union up. Like if we went on strike, imagine how terrified he'd be. Like,
it's true.
That would affect so many people's lives.
Yeah, we're such a popular podcast, and like we're his most popular podcast as well. In addition to I think we might be his
only podcast.
Well, we're also just really popular.
Anyways,
like, people love us.
I'm going on strike from the news since there's nothing else to talk about.
Me too.
True. There's no other reason really to discuss anything else.
I've unioned up with Stairmaster against Swanson's news, and we're demanding an immediate end to this section of the podcast.
Well, listen. I mean, I see your argument, and I raise you.
We demand a fun game that'll delight the audience.
That's perfect, because that's the deal I was going to strike with you guys.
Oh, okay.
See how easy it is when you're not a shitty CEO to create a deal that works for everybody?
Yeah, what's the deal, Swanson?
Well, the deal is that we're going to play a little game. A game that everyone loves. It's time for Guess Who's Coming! Hit the theme,
Oh, wow.
Stair.
Owner of a lonely heart. Owner of a lonely heart, so much better than an owner of a broken heart.
Okay.
Owner of a lonely heart.
Okay. I was hoping he would try and hit that high note. And he did try. Welcome to another exciting edition of Guess Who's Coming, the game show where... Wait. Not me?
What?
That's right. After some controversy, by which I mean...
Allegations.
Some allegations came out that I was being unfair to Stairmaster in the last round of Guess Who's Coming. And so I've decided it's time to put up or shut up, guys. You know, I've never played this game. It's of my creation. Maybe I should play this game. And it's only fair that I make not the wronged party, but the party who wins the most, the judge.
That's how we know it's fair.
So Keo, you're going to be the judge of Guess Who's Coming, and I'm now the player.
All right, yeah.
So, sort of a slate cleaning situation here. Now me and Stair, we'll get to see who is the more savvy of the two of us.
Yeah, so I've got the stone tablets here with the upcoming prophecies for the TV shows that are going to be coming out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm ready for this. I can't wait to see what I come up with.
Oh yeah, what you come up with?
Hold on, let me wipe away this algae.
Yeah, to be clear, I have not looked at any of these TV shows. I think just through osmosis, I know maybe one or two shows that are coming out in July.
Yeah, I hope you guys are ready, because I'm going to be a very intense judge here. I'm going to be calling the shots here. I'm going to be changing the way the game works too. Now that I'm the judge.
Oh,
okay.
Change the rules.
Yeah, so instead of you guys just kind of whoever has like a more urgent idea jumping out of the gate, I'm just gonna randomly decide who has to go first, and you have to immediately start.
Oh shit!
Giving out.
Oh god!
Damn, the difficulty's been upped.
Yeah, I'll give you 10 seconds to think about your choice, but of course, that's going to be edited out. There's not going to be 10 seconds of silence in the recording. Hopefully, Swanson.
Right, Swanson.
We'll see.
You can tell the editor to do it properly, right?
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say, buddy.
That little editor man you have. All right, let's do it.
All right, sure.
The first program is on the CW network.
Oh, Lord.
And this show is called Son of a Critch.
Hold on, say that again?
Son of a Critch.
Critch.
Like C-R-I-T-H?
C-R-I-T-C-H.
Okay.
Critch. Son of a Critch. Alright, so I'll give you guys 10 seconds to think about it, and I'm going to call on our first contestant. Swanson, what's this show about?
Oh, shit.
Son of a Critch is a show about a family, the Critches, who they get rich one time. I guess maybe they win the lottery or something. And it's a comedy drama, because we love dramedies these days. That sort of just follows their lives with this newfound wealth. Probably follows, like, the main character is probably the son who goes to high school. He's probably like a junior in high school or some shit, and there's probably a lot of high school stuff.
You sound
less interesting.
You sound like AI Bob Williams.
I mean, we'll
from
see.
Last week with all these hypotheticals.
Should I? Oh yeah. I guess I should just be acting like this is the show, right? And it's gonna there's gonna be a little guy at the high school. That's my pick. That's
stare.
Okay, so this is about a guy who lives in like one of those mud huts in England. He finds out he's like an orphan. He finds out that it's like the heir to like nobility.
You're thinking critch is like a English term?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a critch.
And so now he's got to live in a mansion, and he's got to learn all the rules and manners, like wearing shoes and whatnot, and washing the dirt off his face. It's like a situational comedy about that.
All right. So,
also, he's best friends with a leprechaun.
Leprechaun. So there's magic happening in this. Okay.
Well, hold on.
Right,
You're assuming that leprechauns aren't real.
If they were real, they'd still be magical.
Fair.
I don't think there's any interpretation of a leprechaun that's like it's just a mundane creature, right?
I guess not.
You're thinking leprechaun's just like a
gold.
little man, so he's just like a caricature. All right, Son of a Critch is the hilarious and very real story of a young Mark coming of age in the 1980s. The series is a heartfelt window in the life of a child who is much older inside than his 11 years, using comedy and self-deprecation to win friends and connect with a small collection of people in his limited world.
A young Mark?
His name is Mark.
Yeah. his
name is... Why is it phrased like a young Mark?
I don't know, but there's no magic mentioned here.
Okay, listen.
I'll never. I don't. Yeah.
Listen, Swanson was all about how there's a family, while I was about one guy, and this is about one guy.
True. I guess
that's simple mathematics.
Is the lottery get involved? You know. I mean, he's 11 years old. There's got to be a family at some point. It's not just him traversing the landscape by himself.
He could be an orphan.
This does not sound like a magical journey. This is about a child who is going to school, making friends, like Swanson said.
That's sort of like learning the polite manners.
And it's called Son of a Critch because the creator's name is Mark Critch. It's just a name.
Okay, so that's why he's a young Mark. I see.
Yeah. So there's no magic. I don't think he's an orphan. Swanson gets the point.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Wow.
Let's see. All right. Do you want to do a show that has like the premise is an entire essay?
Okay. Sure. Yes.
Yeah, we love an essay here.
Oh, this isn't a show. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm fake show.
I'm just trying to decipher. I'm just deciphering these tablets here. I'm literally trying to go through some hieroglyphics here.
Yeah, it's not easy.
All right, here we go.
Listen, I make it look easy, guys.
Yeah, I didn't know you were like an archaeologist when you were doing these. This is pretty cool. All right, here we go. Streaming services. We're back at it with HBO Max's Full Circle. 10 seconds on the clock, and then I'll be doing a very fair call on one of you guys. Stairmaster, what is HBO Max's Full Circle about?
It's a historical drama about Magellan and his attempts to circumnavigate the world.
That sounds amazing.
Hence the
you want to pile any more details onto that, or are you good?
Yeah, the lead actor does show dong.
Okay.
Shows dong. Okay.
Alrighty, Swanson.
Can
you beat Magellan's circumnavigation.
This is a Max show.
HBO. Oh yeah.
Oh wait,
yeah.
this is HBO Max, not.
Oh yeah. I said that. Although you're correct, it actually is just Max. The HBO is crossed out.
Full Circle is a show about a guy who is framed for murder, and he has to find out who actually did it. He's working with the police to figure out who did it, and then he gets murdered at the end.
Bad news.
It comes full circle.
Bad news. Magellan did not circumnavigate the world.
Did he just say how to do it?
Oh wait, no, yeah.
I'm picturing like he gets murdered at the end, and then like the cop has to solve his murder now, but they think he did it. It just keeps happening every season.
Oh wait, no. Wikipedia.
Full Circle. Full Circle is an investigation into a botched kidnapping, uncovers long-held secrets connecting multiple characters and cultures in present-day New York City.
Huh.
So, I don't think you can possibly make a case for this, Stairmaster.
What was Swanson's?
It was about a murder investigation with the police that comes full circle.
Sounds like the police are involved. Also, did it say
Probably.
botched kidnapping?
Botched kidnapping. So that doesn't that imply that somebody died?
That usually implies murder.
Yeah. Either that or like they got away.
They got away but didn't go back to their family.
Yeah. All right, Swanson gets the points. We're 2-0 here, so.
Oh. This is so unfair.
Yeah, Swanson. Did you look at these tablets before we started this?
I have not procured these tablets. I've not looked at them, and the 2 shows that I knew were coming out in this July have not yet been mentioned.
Okay.
And spoilers, one of them is one we're doing next week, so.
Yeah, that checks out because they were covered in this algae. These were at the bottom of the ocean before we got our hands on them, so that makes perfect sense. All right, so we've got a Netflix program next.
Boy.
And this is Netflix's Unknown.
Alright, so this is a collaboration with... Oh, wait.
Yeah, the rules are different now, Stairmaster. You have 10 seconds to think about it and get your thoughts straight. 10 seconds on the clock.
Sort your life out, Stair.
All right, since you were so eager, Stairmaster, what is Netflix's Unknown?
Alright, I'm going to change it from what I had planned. It's about it's basically the X-Files, but for the modern era. So, like, there's a ghost in the computer. Maybe he's like a NSA guy. I don't know. I was just going to say it had something to do with Pokemon.
With what now?
With Pokemon.
Pokemon?
Yeah, like there's a guy going in the ruins of Aleph.
That sounds like too much fun.
Yeah, that would not be way too cool for Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix, I don't know if they would do that.
So no, I think it's just going to be like the X-Files.
All right, Swanson. What is Netflix's Unknown about? What is this?
Unknown follows a character. I'm not going to gender them.
Hold on.
Follows a character who has amnesia. They don't know anything. They don't know who they are, what they're all about. Everything about them is unknown.
Oh, so it's like Fox Television's John Doe.
Sure.
Except they don't know every fact in the world.
Through the help of some random people, they have to uncover who they are. And since this is a Netflix show, I'm guessing they find out like their name at the end of the season.
Yeah.
My name is Irma? No?
Their first name only. The first name only.
Yeah, they learn that their name's like John.
It's the most common name you could have.
Well, I think Jesus is more common, or maybe Muhammad.
True. Yeah, and it depends.
Okay, in
Since
America.
they find out their name is Muhammad.
All right, Unknown is a 4-part docu-series event that tells breathtaking stories of adventure and exploration in awe-inspiring and uncharted territories. Premiering weekly, each film pushes the boundaries of knowledge, ventures into unexplored regions, and unlocks the secrets of our world with the stories of remarkable people and places never before captured on camera.
Oh, my original guess would have been closer. Damn.
Yeah, for once.
Oh, well, that's sort of like the X-Files.
All right, Swanson, why do you win this round?
Why?
Can
What?
Can you make a case? No, I'm asking him to make his case.
Huh.
Do you have a case? You just gonna concede?
I guess
Give up.
In the
You
premise
can't
there
win.
could be some globe-trotting. Be figuring out who you are by traveling the globe.
Theoretically, although I don't know, X-Files. When you think about that,
They were definitely trotting.
It's true.
They were walking around the town
Hot to
at
trot.
the very least. Yeah, I'm gonna give Stairmaster the point here.
Thank you.
So we're 2-1. Swanson in the lead here. Getting a little closer. And it was looking like he was going to walk away with this one. But, no. Okay, let me consult the tablets here. All right. Here we go. We're on the CW network again. We're circling back here. We're going full circle on this one. We're talking about Fantastic Friends.
Oh, God.
10 seconds
All
on
right.
the clock. And then I'll be calling on somebody here. Swanson, what is CW's Fantastic Friends about?
So, Fantastic Friends is a show about a group of college students
Okay.
who are they're trying to sort of sort out their life in this crazy time period where they're away from home and all that. And luckily they have some fantastic friends with them as they learn what being an adult is all about or some shit.
All right, Stare. What do you say? What is this program?
All right. So this is the CW's remake of Super Friends, since they have access to the DC universe.
Fuck.
Except instead of the Wonder Twins, it's Cyborg.
Fuck, that's probably right. Shit. I forgot they were the superhero network.
Darkseid is still trying to marry Wonder Woman, however.
All right. So here's the story. Here's what we got here. Fantastic Friends. I mean, Stairmaster, this is
Yes?
This is about actors and twin brothers, James and Oliver Phelps, travel the globe to meet spellbinding guests, explore enchanting cities, and take on phenomenal challenges.
Everything
while
is
managing all kinds of mischief along the way.
Everything is globe-trotting except for the one where I said it was globe-trotting.
How, and you would say these aren't superheroes.
They meet spellbinding guests and explore enchanting cities. That sounds magic, maybe, but doesn't mention anything about...
Zatanna is a superhero. She does magic, right?
I mean, would you say they're young adult?
Yeah, like the Super Friends.
How old are these twins?
Maybe these are the Wonder Twins.
So, the strange thing is, this features twins, but I don't see any, any mention of any type of DC universe at all.
Well, yeah, because it's so obvious.
Yeah. I thought you were going to tell me that this features twins, but you couldn't see any twins in the photo for the show. So it was just like they were tagging out, like one twin would be at one city and the other twin would be at another one.
I mean, they're twins, but they're not, I don't think they're identical twins. Also, I think this is reality TV.
Oh.
Trash.
Like they're actually gonna travel to location and film it. That's why they talk about guests, like real, actual people.
Damn, I
Maybe
never
I'll
thought
be
about
on it.
reality.
So, with that being said, I mean, we've got a difficult conundrum here for my judging. So, Swanson's story was pretty down to earth. It was just about like some people and like doing regular stuff. And Stairmaster had all this like, Wonder Twins, like they were gonna like transform and fight Darkseid.
No, to be
Dark
fair
side.
to Stair, I thought he had it.
I thought he had it too.
I should have it. It's only right and proper. Give me the point, Keo.
All right, look, I'm gonna
Go
just
on.
give Stair the point just because of the fact that this has twins.
Yes!
It's true. What's
It's
more?
true.
What's this sort of the modern superpower, like the real world equivalent?
Even though I said it specifically mine doesn't have twins.
Oh, you said it was like the
No.
Wonder Twins, but no twins.
Yeah, there's no Wonder Twins. They replaced them with Cyborg.
What? I thought you were saying that Cyborg had a twin.
No. Sorry.
All right, Swanson gets the point.
Ah! Hey, no takebacks.
Hey, it's a classic. This is a classic conundrum here, where it's not even it doesn't matter who the opponent is. Stair will just always screw himself out of getting a point.
Yeah, he'll clarify using his intense, like self-harming honesty.
It's called integrity.
Yeah,
Maybe you should try some.
Self-harming honesty is what I call
Scumbag.
integrity.
Yeah.
All right, well, looks like Swanson's going to be going home with the trophy.
The winner.
And when I say trophy, I mean the prize, which is not a trophy.
But are
we can just
the
do
the prize is more
champions.
We can just do one more dignity round to see if Stairmaster can hold on to his dignity.
The prize
Okay.
is more allegations, Swanson. I hope you're happy.
Wow,
Is,
they have yet to sink me because I'm not popular enough for it to happen.
all right, so you guys ever heard of a network called Freeform before?
No.
Is that a streaming service? Is that a network?
That's the former ABC Family, I think.
Okay, so whatever the hell that is, Freeform's got a program coming out called Praise PD. 10 seconds on the clock. Swanson. What in the world is Praise PD?
PD is a Southern Baptist preacher who he has a little town that he runs because they all go to church, and every Sunday everyone comes to praise PD, and it turns out he's like a real despicable guy, and it's actually like an ironic title. Also,
Okay,
there's a little
so-
guy.
A little guy?
Little guy who like works for God, who's going to teach him the error of his ways.
Okay. Is that it? Is that all you got?
Yeah.
All right. And Stairmaster, can you maintain your dignity? Can you defeat Swanson's premise there? What
Yeah.
is Praise PD?
Praise PD is about a guy who receives a vision from the heavens
Uh-huh.
and is commanded to become a prophet, but he doesn't want to. It's a sitcom about the gods constantly blighting him and trying to force him onto the path.
Well, that's a really good premise, Stairmaster. Let's see if that's what Freeform Network has pushed out here. The series follows Petey, a New York City it girl who has it all until her life comes crashing down around her. As luck would have it, a mysterious gift from her father gives her a new lease on life. She's going to lean into modernizing his small town cult.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so that's interesting.
I mean, okay, that's one of the rare ones where you say the premise and it actually does sound better than what we came up with.
Yeah, I think we just gotta retire this segment now that the TV writers have beat us.
Yeah, that legitimately sounds like an interesting show.
This is an animated program.
Oh,
Oh,
now I'm less interested.
All right, so here's the deal. Swanson gets the point.
Okay.
Yeah, because of course Southern churches are sort of like their own cults.
I'm just glad it's over.
Because in Swanson's premise, the protagonist is, leaning into this situation, actively participating.
Oh.
Whereas in Stairmasters, his protagonist is actively avoiding it.
Hey, don't make you make it sound like you're condemning my protagonist. Stop being so judgmental.
Listen, we like proactive protagonists in this game.
Well, I think your protagonist sounds delightful. I'm not at all like condemning or any of that. I think that having a cult is actually not a good thing to do.
It's true. My protagonist kind of sounds like a scumbag.
Yeah. So yeah, Swanson, you ready for your prize?
Oh,
I'm ready
always
for the kind
ready.
of death you've earned, little man.
Yeah, I've beaten Stairmaster at his own game, or I guess my own game.
Yeah,
I've beaten
this is literally
Stairmaster.
your game.
Did it feel good?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Sick fuck.
Listen, I want to get a little. I just want to say real quick that this is proof, of course, vindication that the only person who's rigging this game against themselves is Stair.
All right, now Swanson, your prize. Now, this is a little bit of a unique prize. I'm changing things up a little bit. It's going to be not only you get to hold on to an item for a few minutes, but also you get to do something with it too.
Oh,
what?
I like doing things.
Yeah, so I've got my prized possession here, my trident.
Okay, yeah, we haven't talked about this really either, but you've sort of had this, just been holding on to this.
Yeah, it's my trident.
What's it do?
So, you can, well, let me finish telling you what your prize is.
Oh, okay.
So you get to have this trident for 5 minutes, and within those 5 minutes, you're free to kill Stairmaster with this trident.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, you can take Stairmaster's life as your reward for defeating him in the game. This was a death game the whole time.
Wow.
Now, Swanson, keep in mind, if you kill me, you'll have to recap the episode without my aid.
It's true. And what if one of us really liked the episode and one of us hated the episode? Then we would need a tiebreaker.
I don't.
Come on, just kill him.
Yeah, come on, kill him. Free me.
Oh, so Stair wants this?
Yeah, a moment ago, Stair, you were like...
I thought about it. I really don't feel like talking about Black Mirror anymore. Bye.
No, sorry. I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to sort of hold on to the trident, look at it.
It's really... It's more of like a ceremonial trident. It's not really meant to be taken out and used as a weapon, but you can it's still sharp enough to kill somebody if you stab them properly.
I did briefly think about throwing it to you and being like, do it yourself, like...
Or throwing it through him.
Well, the message might get a little muddled if I throw it through you. But,
yeah, do it. You're going to say do it yourself, and then you just kill me.
I think that's badass.
It is badass, but it also just doesn't make sense.
maybe if it were like a boomerang, I could do that, because then it's out of my hands when it hits you.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna just hold on to this trident for a little bit, and
yeah. Well, the prize is you don't have to kill him, but the prize really is you just get to hold it for a minute. Isn't it nice?
it's very nice. It's sort of calming.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it for Guess Who's Coming, and congratulations, Swanson. You're the new champion.
Yeah, it feels good. Not as good as holding this trident, but
Can I hold it?
good nonetheless.
You cannot hold it, Stairmaster.
Come on, Swanson, let me hold it.
No.
I guess Swanson can give it to you if he wants to, but
I mean, I've already spared his life. What more do I need to give him?
The trident.
His life that he doesn't want.
Hey, let me hold the trident for a second. I can do some cool tricks with it.
No.
Oh, okay.
And maybe try winning next time if you want to hold the trident.
Yeah, more like lose master.
Ooh, got him. Get wrecked, kiddo.
That's a sick burn, like the one I would have given you if I had murdered you with this trident.
What would you have said if you had murdered me with the trident? What would your catchy...
Oh, I don't know. I probably would have just been like, fuck off.
Shut up, bitch! Yeah!
Anyway, that's another rousing game. Thank you for Keo for running that one. And now it's time for our main event. That's right. We watched a show, and now we're going to talk about it. Joan is Awful is the first episode of the 6th season of Netflix's Black Mirror, and it follows a tech executive, played by Annie Murphy, who discovers that her life is being adapted into a TV show by the streaming corporation Streamberry, and stars Salma Hayek as herself. Did Black Mirror show you what it was like when technology goes awry, or did it leave you confused?
Oh boy.
It's a very interesting one.
Yeah, this was I will say this. You can say this. We felt obligated to do Black Mirror again since we talked so much about Striking Vipers recently. But also this came back up sort of recently in conversation due to the SAG-AFTRA strike. Because there's some sort of relevant themes here. But I will say that say what you will about Black Mirror, there are a lot of stinkers in the show's run. Between this and Striking Vipers, it has not run out of content for us to talk about. It's not a boring show.
Yeah, and like I've said in the past, being boring is the ultimate sin.
Honestly,
Right,
I wish this had more gay sex like Striking Vipers.
You wanted
Right.
Salma
Any
Hayek
gay
and Annie
sex.
Murphy to get it on?
Yes.
Okay, fair.
I think that's what the American people need.
Yes. Yeah, Annie Murphy is the titular Joan of this show. We've previously seen her, of course, on Kevin Can F Himself.
All right.
Former episode of the pod. And of course she's famous for her role in Schitt's Creek. Salma Hayek is Salma Hayek, and she also is in this.
And yeah, they name drop her at least 10 times.
She looks so good. Damn.
Yeah,
I want to bite.
Whoa, calm down.
She's here. She's Salma Hayek, and that's what's
Salma
what
Hayek,
she
if you're
does.
listening,
Stare.
please answer my phone calls.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, here's a TV Tuner's dating tip of the week. Did you know that if a girl does not answer your phone call, she's not interested?
Hey, save it for the end of the episode.
Yeah. So this episode starts off. We get introduced to Joan going through her sort of daily life. It's kind of mundane, kind of boring. She's listening to rap music because she goes into work.
Yeah, they felt the need to give us this, like, it was I think about 12 minutes of this, because it was set up for the actual premise of the show. But
right,
boy,
you need to see what her actual, I guess what her actual life is like before you see what the TV version is.
yeah,
What do you think?
had to-
What do you think of the rap song? Do you think those bars are fire, or do you think she's not making it out of the hood?
I think it was okay.
I think it was. Yeah, I've heard that song on the radio before, so I'm gonna assume. It was good.
Okay. Oh, so you just assume that because songs are on the radio, they're good?
Well, I assume they made it out of the hood if their song's on the radio.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So she has an awkward time firing a client, or not a client, a worker. She has to fire somebody, and it's real awkward. They leave.
Awkward.
She goes out for a smoke and drops her vape on their head. She goes. She meets with her ex. They kiss. She goes home. Hangs out with her fiance, or she talks to her therapist and then goes home and hangs out with her fiance. They're watching TV.
I thought that the therapist was going to do like a click type thing where she's the one responsible for the events that transpire.
Instead, I mean, that would maybe make a bit more sense or feel a bit more grounded, maybe. But instead, the show goes in a very meta direction.
It would be more interesting. I mean, it would be more satisfying to have her as the antagonist that she faces off against at the end.
Yeah.
Even if it's just verbally.
True. I get the inclination to make the antagonist, if there is really one in this, the CEO of a company. Of a streaming service, to be exact. But
yeah, I don't like CEOs. They're not friendly.
Yeah, it's true. I've heard that. It's
CEO. There was a time where a CEO came over my house and he put his feet up on the coffee table and he was talking to me like,
"Let me tell you how things are going to be working from now on."
Oh, yeah. One time a CEO took me to the back of like a fast food restaurant and was like, "I own you. Your daughter, I own her. Your wife, I own her." And he kept saying that to me, and then like he would tell me that he owned everything. And that I worked for him now.
And he kept asking, "Do you think this is satisfactory?"
Yeah, it was no good.
Yeah.
Yeah, not cool, guys.
I don't like the labor autocracy, if we're being honest.
True.
So yeah, we see this woman being like, kind of immoral, not the best person. Yeah. She's like, she works for this company, doesn't care about the environment, fire somebody because, I don't know, she blames the board, but I think she just did it. And then she's like, "Oh, I'm dating this guy and he's all right, but I don't feel passionate." Kind of boring. And I lie about his cooking. I think it's bland.
Yeah.
But, these are all like, not nice, not good, but still
not
pretty
like,
mundane.
Yeah, it's a mundane sort of bad. It's not like she's being reprehensible. It's the sort of mundane awfulness of real life.
And then when she's being chilling with her fiance.
Yeah, her face. Well, not her face, but a show pops up on Streamberry,
they're,
which is just Netflix.
They're doing actual Netflix and chill, which is not what she wants. She wants the other Netflix and chill.
Yeah, she wants the ice cream, you mean?
Yeah. So, the show comes up called Joan is Awful, and it has an uncannily accurate description of her entire life.
Yeah. And except the only difference, it's her hairstyle, it's just Salma Hayek's face.
Yeah, it's a beat by beat depiction of that same day.
Yeah.
Except it's
embellished a little bit. It's Salma Hayek, and it's just a little bit embellished, where it makes her a little bit worse.
Yeah. Well, there was actually a joke that I really appreciated in this, which is that, and I wish he had been more of a focus on this episode, but they have other stuff in mind. But she has a assistant who's gay, but in the show they're like capital G gay. Like they in the show that we're watching, the version of her assistant is like extra gay. It's like as gay as possible.
This actually relates to what I said last week, because the lady she fires is a lesbian, as we find out. In the show version, they picked a fat actress to play her.
Oh yeah, to make it more sentimental, I imagine.
Yeah, why do they gotta keep making lesbians fat? What are they afraid of?
Yeah, I think it's. What about? Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Gio.
Yeah, this assistant character is. I found it mildly amusing, but he stops existing halfway through the runtime. Of course, he wasn't actually important.
After she gets fired, he just sort of leaves, which is a disappointment because I thought his reactions to the way he's portrayed on the show were funny. Especially considering that Joan herself is, rightfully, having a panic attack watching the show. Good acting here by Annie Murphy. Probably the best she does in the whole episode.
I thought the reacting was funny, but also very stupid. Because
in what way?
If this happened to me, where exact events from my life are being depicted on a TV show, I wouldn't just be like, "Whoa, that's crazy!" Like, why was I depicted like that? I'd be like, "This is a huge scandal. We need to we need to have this in front of Congress. Like, what the hell?"
Yeah, true. I guess you could sort of hand wave it a little bit in this being like, well, this isn't about me. I'm just there for this one scene. I did think it was funny, though.
No, he was critiquing Joanne's reaction.
Yeah, Joanne's... his too, though. His too. I'm critiquing both. Mostly hers, but his as well, because...
Oh, no. I think her reaction in the moment is definitely appropriate. Because I don't think you're immediately thinking about legal action so much as what the fuck is going on. And
also, my fiance's gonna find out I'm cheating on him.
Yeah, I think your sense of reality would be immediately warped by seeing the events of your day just on TV.
Yeah, but she never gets past that point where she's just kind of upset about the results. And so we get to the scene that really just kind of made me just say, wow, this is incredible, was when well, first of all, she gets fired from her job for this.
Because of some NDA. She reveals a thing of an NDA, but it's not her revealing it.
Yeah, technically speaking, that company should have ground to sue Streamberry since...
Yes.
They didn't.
They also have no evidence at all that she leaked anything. There's just not at all.
Right. In fact, she should not be talking with her lawyer about what they can do to Streamberry so much as what they can do to her employer.
So every single entity involved in this would be subject to a lot of scrutiny.
Yes.
Yeah. If I was in this situation, I'd probably just take a gun and,
Well, she does something similar.
It's the time for vengeance.
Also, what I thought would have been funnier for the show that they were watching, the Salma Hayek version, is if when she's in the car, she was singing some license-free music. Because they couldn't get the license to the song that she was actually singing.
That would have been funny.
Yeah, that would have been a good joke. But no.
Also, I gotta mention this part. I don't know if you guys caught this, but it was the one moment in the episode. Well, maybe not the one moment, but it was the moment that made me laugh the most. It's very, a very sort of, I don't know, just the way it happened and the previous interactions made it funny. When in the TV version, Salma Hayek is leaving the job, the TV version of her gay assistant says, "Sayonara, Queen." Because they really have to hammer home that someone's gay on a TV show. You gotta know.
Right,
even though in reality he says nothing.
Right. The thing is, though, it's how it doesn't... The twist at the end kind of just makes this not make any sense.
Oh,
honestly.
Yeah. Also the fact that the scene with her lawyer is on the show as well. Why would you tell on yourself like that?
Yeah, true. And I mean, they do, because they essentially give her the idea for the next part of the show, which gets... So she goes with her lawyer. Her lawyer's like, "There's nothing we can do about it. It's all in the terms and
conditions." By the way, this is definitely the stupidest part in this whole thing. Where
the terms and conditions?
Yeah, you hit accept on a sign up for a streaming service. That means you agreed to be wiretapped at all times and have your story broadcast and monetized.
Yeah.
Are you saying that there's a plot? This is a plot hole so big you could drive a truck through it?
It's not a plot. It's not a sin? I wouldn't say this is a plot hole. There's a plot hole coming up though, but this is just very stupid. It's just
listen. I'm gonna just reveal real quick that I liked this. I think more than either of you did. We'll see at the end. But I think part of the reason is because early on I decided that this was not any semblance of real life, and it turns out I was correct in that assumption. But also that this is just a farce. This is not this is some wild, wacky shit that the Black Mirror is putting on.
It is, but even the twist at the end, which we'll get into, it still is going to posit that this actually happened to somebody.
True.
It's,
yeah.
At some point. It's a little dry for my taste.
Yeah, it is very dry.
Is what you mean.
Yeah.
The way the lawyer breaks it down, I think the writers thought that this actually made sense to somebody, but it doesn't hold up to scrutiny at all, and it's just you're right, you do think it's a farce at that point, but I don't know if that's what the show's going for at all, and to this point, it's being played straight. There's a couple of jokes here and there. It's it
would have been funny if the lawyer turned her back on Joanne because of the show.
Yeah.
She didn't want to represent her anymore, work with her anymore.
See, I guess I just never thought from the beginning that it was being played straight. It seemed pretty clear to me that this was not that this wasn't reality, but that this was intended to be a comedy of a wacky a comedic episode.
I think I get that too. It's just Keo.
And then it does go even wackier from there. Pretty much the moment Salma Hayek shows up as herself, it goes even crazier.
I think tonally, I don't buy that. I think I think they wanted to have their cake and eat it too, where they wanted it to be played straight, but also have some jokes here and there.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see that.
They have these dry scenes where the lawyer scene, for example, was extremely dry, and
they could have the lawyer be I don't want to look bad on the show. She's being threatened with that.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. They only ever really bring up that people know about the show when she's with her ex, and he's listen, I'm not going to be the guy who can't perform for Salma Hayek.
Here's the actual plot hole. Here's the cinema sin that I'm really going to harp on right now. That did irritate me a lot with this. So,
is about the fact that their sole source for the information is from the phone.
Yes, exactly.
That you could just put it down.
Right,
exactly.
Okay, yes, I agree with that, actually. So she never, after she meets with the lawyer, she should, throw her phone away.
Right, immediately.
And there should be, a MacGuffin or something that makes sure that doesn't work.
It should be something where, she throws her phone away, she goes and meets with her ex, and she's make sure your phone's not in the room. And then she finds out that he has, an Alexa-like thing.
Yes, and it had to be played for laughs, because at this point you can't have that premise anymore where she's being watched, because you need to make it absurd at that point, which it already was.
Right.
So yeah,
because you can add an extra layer to this where she has to monitor literally everything, and then she finds out that literally anything could be something that's watching her.
Yeah, it's well, I got my phone put away, so that should be good. He's well. Yeah, well, the lamps got a camera.
Look over there. Windows? Those are all cameras.
I got the smart smoke detectors. This is a smart home.
My fridge, the ice maker. It's a camera.
She goes outside and she sees a drone flying around. And she just freaks out.
Yeah, that'd be fun. What we get actually is somehow more unhinged than that idea we just came up with, which is that when she's watching the version on the show, the lawyer mentions that the likeness of the character, something about how the likeness of the character, the
likeness of Salma Hayek could be depicted doing whatever they wanted,
right? And so she gets this idea to eat as many fast food burgers as she could get, and then go to a church during a wedding and just unload.
Yeah, I would have just said the N-word a bunch.
True, that would have done it. mean, honestly, you can decide for yourself which one's worse.
Honestly, the shitting thing is the part that I don't like about this. It just rubs me the wrong way.
It rubs me the wrong way, too.
It feels like an escalation that's her first solution to this problem.
I think it works in the sense that, like, it is absolutely the most wild option that someone could think of. And that's just the first thing she goes to.
Yeah, well, I didn't get the impression that this character was that unhinged.
Yeah, I could buy it maybe after literally her entire life falls apart.
But yeah, all she lost, I guess she lost her job, which
her fiance,
madness. That's total madness, and should be the focus of the story at this point.
It's not only that she lost her job, right? It's that even her ex doesn't want to deal with her anymore, and then also that like she there's no legal recourse for anything.
I mean, yeah.
But also that jogging guy doesn't like her anymore.
Yeah, that should have been the end
jogging
of it there.
guy. Yeah, when the jogging guy was like, "Shame on you," that's when I was like, "Oh, I guess this is a comedy."
This should have been a full movie. That's the problem.
It's true, because the end, it happened, like, the big twist at the end happens with, like, 5 minutes to go, and if you're gonna make that work, you need more.
Also, yeah, this should have been a 2-hour movie to flesh out things, like why she can't throw her phone out.
Right.
How it ruined her life. Maybe someone tries to kill her.
But, so she does this, she defecates in a church.
Maybe explain a little bit better how they can get away with this, because just the idea of a lawyer sitting you down and just saying, like, you hit accept, so...
Yeah,
so, like, that's it.
So she does this at a church. She'll never change. She defecated in a church. She goes, and Salma Hayek is like immediately sits down with her lawyer, and Salma Hayek's really fun in this. I think.
Yeah.
It loses the thread a little bit in the end because everything does, but she's having a good time in this. This is fun. She talks a lot about how not only her rights but the rights of her butthole. Because now everyone associates her with shitting in a church because her face has been plastered on the episode.
What was part of the humor here? Just getting to see Salma Hayek just say vulgar things.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I didn't care about that. I didn't care.
Listen,
for that.
I mean,
I was having fun with that.
I had fun with this. I had fun with her specifically. It's a very thin line to tread, but she treads it real well.
I feel like in the final act, they kind of lose the plot regarding her.
Yes,
because it's all truncated to 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and she doesn't.
The ending bit does sort of feel like, oh shit, we gotta finish this.
It also felt like we have to give this like a shocking twist. And
definitely. It was like a Twilight Zone sort of deal. It felt like we were really like, we need that last little twist. When like you've done enough.
Yeah, in fact, this twist doesn't really accomplish anything and could have been used, for all the other glaring issues in the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, because so Salma Hayek goes and meets with Joan, and they express their mutual frustrations with this, and they decide it's time to bring down the system, which, hell yeah.
Yeah, so Salma Hayek puts on her Kill Bill dress.
Yeah.
Which for some reason has, like, little nipple markings.
Well, it's for... because they know who it's for.
Yeah, and their idea of getting the system is just to break the quantum computer and really smash that bad boy, and then
I thought that the computer was going to be a character, considering they were talking about how smart it was.
And he was going to talk to them and like be like evil.
Would it have been better if... So Michael Cera shows up in the end of this as a guy behind a computer who's like who's helping the computer.
Yeah,
would it have been better if he was just the voice of the computer?
Yeah.
And I think, it should have just been the architect from the Matrix.
It might have made more sense if it wasn't just like a guy explaining it, because, like, honestly, like, how can he? How can you just be a guy on the computer? Like, oh yeah, by the way, this is all a simulation.
So that's the plot twist: is that Annie Murphy is an actress portraying the real Joanne.
So in the
surface level, that
we're looking at the first layer of the fictional show that they're making.
That presumably proceeds infinitely.
Right. So does that mean that it proceeds infinitely, getting more and more absurd every iteration? Is that...
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's
because we go from Selma Hayek to Kate Blanchett, where...
Right, and Kate Blanchett probably goes to like someone else and so on. And so
is that more? Is that like more absurd? Is that a more absurd actress?
Well, she's more famous, so yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so like Angelina Jolie is on level 4.
Yeah. And then we start getting to like political figures, like famous political figures, like the Queen of England.
I'm just saying, like the embellishments are kind of what I'm thinking about with this idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the concept that the simulations themselves are basically actualized conscious entities. So destroying the quantum computer kills those entities. And it's in fact a massive act of omnicide.
Yeah.
Yeah, she goes as and does it though. Like,
she essentially says, and like does a whole thing where she's like, well, listen, I'm not actually the one in control here because real Joan is already doing this stuff and she's already in this position, so it's really her decision. And
so the episode should have just ended right there with reality ceasing. And then you could be like, oh, would she right to do that? Except that's not what the episode was about either way.
The episode
so instead we get this...
Yeah, the episode was
like
about
Evangelion moment.
The episode was about, content farming through AI and privacy, not like...
not about the ethics of simulating human consciousness.
Yes.
Right, so it's really tossed in at the end there, and we don't really get to explore it and learn anything about it.
I really do feel like they should have just had a line where the computer is voiced by Michael Cera, right? And the computer, and then you don't even have to have the CEO come in, really. You just have the computer explain this to Annie Murphy, where she's just like, listen, where the computer's just like, listen, if you destroy me, then you're destroying millions of AI
billions,
lives.
Trillions.
Yeah.
We're talking, I think it's an infinite amount, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's regenerate.
They do describe it as basically magic.
Yes. Also, I would think it could be a fun line where you have the AI computer be like, he picked the most boring voice he could find, and it was Michael Cera's or something.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Too fun for this program.
Yeah, I mean,
and they get a bit where she asks why she was chosen. It's because she's perfectly average,
right?
Well, that's the thing, though. It's like they had this bit about like they were going to do this with a bunch of people, but it was all just like blank is awful, blank is awful, blank is awful, and she was like, "Why is it all so negative?" They're like, "Oh, well, whatever. Let's move on."
Well, everyone hates themselves, and it's like, well, yeah, you're right, but I'm not going to watch a TV show about myself.
So she smashes it. We get this sort of Evangelion moment where reality washes over them.
Yes.
The facade is broken and...
Yeah, we see real Joan and we see Annie Murphy in the Salma Hayek outfit. And essentially what we get is that everything that happened has just been these two in the real world, I guess.
Yeah, so it all actually happened, I guess?
Yeah, because they get arrested and put on house arrest, as we learn at the end, I guess. Or some, whatever, I don't know, not house arrest, but...
See, all the nonsense, inconsistent stuff we saw actually happened.
Or at least some version of it.
It was a dramatization.
Yeah. It still happened, though. Yeah. I mean, like...
Well, yeah, because we do see the real Joan shitting in a church at the end.
Yeah, the events we saw were embellished a bit, but they were still, like, by and large accurate, so...
Yeah. I think it gets a little too... They had already done a hat on a hat, and it worked. which that's not always the case. But then they were like, you know what's good, what's better? What if we put a third hat on that bad boy? And that was when it got a little too much.
I'm not really impressed with any of these hats.
Yeah, I didn't think it really worked very well. I guess it was maybe logically consistent, but that's about it. Like, I didn't really... There was no meaning added to the story by saying it was all a simulation. It just went in a different direction.
It was just a superfluous... Yeah, just a superfluous detail that muddies the water with an additional ethical dilemma that doesn't thematically align with the previous...
I don't think they needed to add the last bit at all. They should have just ended with reality ending.
I think they should have just had them go into the place and smash a computer. And that was like...
That was
and then everyone's like, Joanne, you suck so much for...
ruining our perfect TV system.
Oh yeah, well, like it could end with everyone being like, "Wow, Joan's so awful because she destroyed her own show at episode 4 or some shit." Only 4 episodes, Joan?
Joan show canceled.
Yeah, they're like, I hate when shows get canceled after 1 season.
Actually, yeah, that would be kind of clever.
What actor would sign on to this deal where they don't act anymore and they get paid a fraction of the amount they would have made otherwise? Would you do that?
Oh, she said that was going to narrow the pay gap, but George Clooney was still getting paid like triple her.
Yeah,
and also that he's going to be in a Thomas the Tank Engine reboot.
So are you saying that they actually paid her like a good amount and she was getting a decent wage out of it? That doesn't track.
Like, well, even she's getting a decent wage for signing her face away, she's not getting paid for every episode of the show.
I'm just saying, I think that, like, honestly, actors will probably be going on strike about this and not signing off their likeness.
Well, in reality, we know that's the case.
That's what I'm saying. That plot point was a bit out of touch, really.
But, well, it makes a lot more sense when it's Anne Murphy and not Selma Hayek signing a bad deal.
True, yeah. Which I guess that's one of those things that just makes more... One of the rare things at the end of this that makes a bit more sense. But, I mean, that is pretty much the end of the episode. We see real Joan and Annie Murphy meeting at a coffee shop. They're friends now. That's pretty much it. About as happy of an ending as you can get for a Black Mirror episode, actually.
Yeah, so the lesson we learned was nothing.
Yeah, and there's not even a real reason why Streamberry can't just build a new quantum computer. True,
they don't really explain how they built the first one.
Well, we don't have to know how. They spent a lot of money.
Yeah, we can only assume that this can be easily reproduced.
Yeah.
True, they can just
and that the government will allow it to happen again.
Yeah.
Because the political economy is aligned with the large with the stakeholders.
Oh yeah, but we can't explore that on the show, Stairmaster.
We don't have time. We gotta do this thing with Michael Cera.
Now, see, it would be funny if like the ending was like there's trailers for a movie about how they smashed the computer, and then you say something about how capitalism reconstitutes any criticism against itself.
Right.
To reinforce itself.
I wish the computer had a Michael Cera hologram.
It's true.
That would have been fun too.
Instead of giving me a post-credits scene where real Joan shits in a church, even though I've already seen it twice.
I only saw the thumbnail. I thought it was going to be Kate Blanchett shitting in the church. I was like, oh, that'd be funny, but I'm already done with this episode.
But instead of that, they should have just done like a movie version. They should have had Kate Blanchett in the movie version.
Whatever. Yeah. Whatever. I'm done.
Anyway, that's the end of the episode. What are our final thoughts here? Is this a tune in, tune out?
I'm giving this the classic TV tuners tune out. It just I don't know. It did not connect with me. My laugh count was 0.
Dang.
And the dramatic parts of it didn't connect at all. partially due to the plot hole, partially just because I didn't care about this person.
I'm going to say they were not batting 100 on this one. Or 400 or whatever the number is supposed to be.
Okay.
1 million.
You going to tune in or tune out?
I'm going to say tune out.
I'll be the lone tune in on this one. I thought it was mostly fun. It's not the most in-depth episode of the show, but also I think since I'm the person who's watched Black Mirror the most, to get an episode that isn't just like a grim or like self-serious, like this is technology episode is rare, and so I think that might be why I enjoyed this one a bit more.
I don't give it any credit for not being that.
Well, I'm not saying it's that bad. I'm just saying there's probably a better thing you could do with an hour of your time.
Yeah, I mean, if you go into this as I did, expecting it to be, or at least as I picked up on early enough, that it would be some sort of farce that you don't have to. The level of reality depicted is different than what we can expect in a regular episode of the show, perhaps, or in our day-to-day life. Then you might enjoy it a bit more, and I did. I'm going to give it a tune-in.
It's better than Silo.
It's true.
I'll say that.
True.
I mean, Silo was boring.
It's true, and that, you know what you can say about Black Mirror, at least in the 2 episodes we watched for the pod, not boring. Lots to talk about.
Did I even review Silo? I think I was out for that episode, wasn't I?
Out is a way to describe what happened to you that day.
You were inside something. You were the most inside anyone has ever been.
Yeah. Did you watch Silo, though? I thought you didn't watch that. Or you just assume it was boring because we thought it was boring?
No, I watched Silo.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Whoopsies. That's no good.
Yeah, they spent a large portion of this episode trying to make sex.
Well, they made sex.
I mean, try to make sex result in a children.
Yeah, I wonder what they're up to now.
Anyway, that's
we'll never know.
That's a tune out on Black Mirror Season 6. And listen, that'll about do it for this week's episode of the show. As always, of course, if you're listening and you're like, I wish they did something I wanted them to cover, like a movie or a TV show or something I like, well, we can do that. All you gotta do is go over to buymeacoffee.com/TVtuners. A single coffee gives you a single episode for us to discuss anything you want. It's buymeacoffee.com/TVtuners. As for next week, guys, it's time once again for one of our favorite traditions, DC Comics for Adult Swim. That's right. For reasons only known to Max CEO David Zaslav, a new Superman animated program has premiered on Adult Swim, and we're going to cover it. It's My Adventures with Superman next week on the show. Featuring Superman as Superman. So until then, keep watching. Bye. It's over.
I found them.
Hey folks, it's time for the TV Tuners Fact of the Week. Did you know that Stairmaster once appeared on a giant television in the streets of Denver?
That's right.